Welcome to our AI segment where I will share safe, free, and helpful ways you can start using generative AI at your surgery center today. The following examples don't include any PHI or pose any data or security risks to you at all, so you should feel very comfortable getting started and playing around. So, as promised, we'll look at 5 ways you can use AI to help you analyze data, spot trends, and present your findings to your board or any stakeholders. All right, scenario number 1. It is the end of the month and it's time to dive into your surgery center's finances. So, you just finished collecting all your financial data, which could include revenue, expenses, procedure volumes, staffing costs, supply costs, and any other data points that you collect and deem appropriate. So, using your PM tool or however you collect your financial data, you can convert your spreadsheet into a CSV file and upload it right into ChatGPT or your AI tool of choice. And you can ask it to help summarize profitability, identify cost saving opportunities, and highlight any areas for improvement. You can even get specific and say, please summarize the 3 key highlights that the board should know about. So that's a pretty simple example, but hopefully as we're going through all these different scenarios, you'll start to see conceptually what your options are here and how we're trying to help how AI can help save you time. So in that case, we're just looking at kind of summarizing some of the financial data from the last 30 days, let's say. Okay, scenario number 2. So, in the next month or two, ASCs will start thinking about their 2025 budgets if you have not already. So, let's say you want to make some projections regarding case volume. So, as an example, you can put together a CSV file that, let's say, has 2 years worth of case volume data per doctor. Same approach, you will upload your CSV file and ask the AI tool to predict case volumes in 2025 based off of the previous 2 years worth of data. Now, obviously, the farther back you can go, if you have 10 years worth of data, even better. You can also give the tool boundaries, like perhaps you want the predictions to be extremely conservative, or maybe you want it to provide a range for you. So it could do that. And then you can also ask it for talking points to explain why it is predicting the numbers that it is, so that when you're in your board meeting or talking through the budget and someone wants to know, hey, why do you predict that Dr. Ramirez is going to do 2,000 cases? You could have all those talking points ready to go for you. Scenario number 3. Another thing that AI is really good at is comparing data sets. So in this scenario, let's pretend you're trying to find a new vendor for your surgical instruments. So scalpels, forceps, scissors, retractors, clamps, whatever it might be. Your current vendor, who we'll call vendor A, you feel like they're a little too expensive and you really just want to know if you're getting the best deal that you can get. So you have received pricing from vendor B and vendor C. You can upload all of your supply ordering history along with the pricing from vendors A, B, and C, and ask your AI tool to compare the costs of supplies from the 3 different vendors and tell you what your costs would have been in the previous quarter for each of them. So that will give you the insight, or again, the talking points. So if a doctor comes up to you and says, I really don't think we're getting, I think we can get X, Y, and Z for cheaper, you can say, oh, I've actually ran that analysis. I'll send you the whole spreadsheet. With vendor A, we're paying X. We paid X in Q1, but if we use vendor B, we would have paid Y. So again, upload all those data sets, have it compare, give you those talking points so that you're prepared if someone does want to dive into supply costs in this example. Scenario number 4. You are preparing for your quarterly board meeting and you've heard grumblings lately that the doctors are not thrilled with your current OR turnover times, and you want to get ahead of it. First, you got to prep your data, right? So maybe your CSV file contains total turnover time, number of staff, who the staff were, procedure type, procedure complexity, time of day of the week, who the doctor was, of course, and any other variables that might be impacting that turnover time. And you can choose, obviously, the more data you have, the better historically. So you could do, let's say, 6 months, you can do 3 years, whatever it might be. Or if they said in 2024, I really felt like this has been happening, or there was something that happened, a turning point where you want to just evaluate the data before and the data after, you can do that too. So anyway, you're once you get the CSV file with all the data points you want, you can tell your AI tool, I'm looking for ways to improve my OR turnover times. Can you please look at the following data and find any patterns for the longest turnover times or any other trends that might be the root cause? And after reviewing its findings, you can then ask the AI tool for 3 ideas or tests you can run to try to reduce the time. And then to take it one step further, you can also ask it how to best display the data to your doctors and also to create a spreadsheet for you to help you track the success of your tests moving forward. So let's say one of its recommendations is, or one of the trends that it finds is, hey, when Dr. A is with this nurse, turnover time in this procedure, turnover times seem to be higher. Maybe we're going to swap out that nurse, whatever it might be. It could create that spreadsheet for you too, so you could track it. And then you can tell your doctors, hey, I hear you. We want to improve our turnover times. Here are the tests that I'm running. You could take a look at this spreadsheet at any time to see how the tests are going as we're trying to improve. And lastly, scenario number 5. So sticking with the board meeting theme here, I know most ASCs do not use PowerPoint slides during their quarterly board meetings, but I would highly recommend doing so when you're reviewing your KPIs and metrics, specifically RCM metrics or anything you're trying to highlight trends for or tell a story for. It's estimated that 65% of people are primarily visual learners. So using visual representation of your data will be extremely beneficial. But if you're new to presenting data, it can certainly feel a little overwhelming. So in this example, and this could apply to any data set, right? Could be financial, clinical, operational, but you can upload any CSV file you have and get recommendations on whether you should use bar charts, line graphs, pie charts, scatter charts to display those trends. And perhaps there's even a specific message you're trying to visualize. So, for example, this is simple, but let's say within your patient satisfaction survey results, you keep seeing the question regarding facility cleanliness declining. But showing the spreadsheet just isn't getting the message across. But a line graph with a drastically sharp drop could certainly do the trick. So if you're not sure, and that can go for any of these examples, right? If you need that visual representation, you can ask your AI tool, what is the best way to show this to get my message across? So there you have it, 5 ways that AI can help you today. If you like this AI series, please let me know in the comments on YouTube and I will keep it going.